What's up, everybody? Riley Smith, aka Ryan Hudson, back here on the Nancy Drew live page. Welcome. Trying to keep everybody occupied before our big show tonight. We've been off the air for like 3-4 weeks now. So there was a huge cliffhanger that happened on the last episode, which I'm sure most of you know of, and we're going to get a lot of answers tonight, and I think we reveal some more things. So big episode, really excited, and right now I'm really excited to let me make sure here. Yes, I'm really excited to to add our next guest to the list of guests today. I want to thank Larry Tang for coming on before. He was absolutely awesome. I love his love for what he does for the art, and he's like a tremendous leader. He would be such a great leader in anything he does. I would follow him anywhere. So thank you, Larry, if you're watching, for coming on earlier. And before that, Leah Lewis, who is a star, who's about to pop, already has popped, will pop. And it was awesome to have her on. So my next guest on my new talk show that I hope the Nancy Drew CW crew keeps letting me do. This is so much fun. My next guest needs no introduction. She is the title role. I think that I look up to her so much. I really do. She doesn't even know that. She's so eloquent and mature, and she's still vibrant and young and a goofball at the same time. You guys know her and love her as Nancy Drew. I want to bring on Miss Kennedy. It always takes a second. I learned this last time. I should have set up earlier, Kennedy. There she is.
Hey, hi,
What's
Riley.
up? Until just now, I thought that you were gonna come through here, and you were coming through my phone. So the joke was on me. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm so good. I miss you. We didn't
miss
say
you too.
goodbye or anything.
I know. It was like nothing. I got to say goodbye to Tunji and Alex and Leah and Madison. And that's it.
So, since I haven't talked to you since all this went down, tell me, how did it go down for you? Because I'm sure everybody's interested. Were you working that day?
I wasn't, which is very odd.
You're always working.
It was a health thing. I'm totally good, but I wasn't at work for that reason.
Okay.
And so I got a text from Melinda, who is our showrunner.
Yeah.
And with her letting us know that's a wrap on season 1 for us. And it was just, the fact that I was even at home on a Friday was super weird. I was like, this is crazy. I work nearly every day. And so, it was just very, and so I called her and we talked on the phone and we both were sort of, and, oh, okay. Well, we'll know more soon. And that's really it. It was a very, just totally 60 to 0.
Just not getting to say goodbye to anybody was really tough.
Yeah.
But
I was super bummed I didn't get to say goodbye to the crew because we don't have their phone numbers. I've contacted some of them on Instagram.
Yeah.
But they're like family, I spend more time with them probably than anybody else in the cast.
I know.
So it was really shocking to just go from seeing them every day to not seeing them at all of a sudden.
Yeah. But the good news is we have a season 2 pickup, and we are coming back, so we will see each other again. And that would be the worst if we were in limbo and we didn't know.
That would be horrible. I'm so glad that the CW did these early renewals because that would be horrible. Just to think oh God, in limbo about it. So that's nice.
So you stayed in Vancouver, and you love it there, right?
Yeah, we love it. We're really just seeing it through the window,
yeah.
But it's great. And this is my fiance Sam is here with me. He wanted me to say hi to all of you guys out there.
And tell Sam hi.
I will. Tell Ashley and Shiloh I said hello.
They send their love.
Good. I don't know if you guys saw, I know you posted this on the story, but in tonight's episode, there are pictures of baby Nancy, which are Riley's
Yeah,
baby.
it meant the world to me. Like that was probably the highlight of my career and all the things I did. Like getting to have this moment with my new daughter, who gets to be baby Nancy Drew, which is like, I mean, my mom had those books growing up, and
Yeah.
so it's just crazy. It was an awesome idea by Melinda. Like she asked, like, would it be okay? I'm like, would it be okay? Like, please
Yeah.
use them. I was like a stage dad. Take them. Here's 400. Which one do you want? But it was cool. And, like I didn't want to give anything too much away, but I got to use those in the scenes. They were emotional cornerstones for me because I was really looking at the picture of my little daughter. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it was really moving.
Yeah.
But
That's so awesome. I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm
yeah,
honored to share Nancy with Shiloh.
little you. That's so cute.
Yeah.
So how have you been keeping yourself busy since you literally were working like 80 hours a week and then now to zero, and you're
Yeah.
confined to a small space? So are you going a little crazy? Or I know you play a lot of games, right?
I do. I do. I mean, I think the first week and a half or so,
Mm.
I was just coming down from just total, not like whenever you're, working on a television show at all, but if you're leading a TV show, you're working so much. And so there's just a period of, I just watched TV all day, or a lot of people who follow me on Twitter will know that I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's pretty much all I did. And it was just sort of like recalibrating my brain to not doing anything. And I've now sort of hit a place where I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? Because we went from an environment of just constant go, 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 and being surrounded by 100 people and hugging them and talking to them and being touched all day long. And
Yeah.
it's such a stark
I
change.
know.
Yeah. So
I was thinking
I'm
about that
starting to
with
get a little.
like with us when we go back, because I know they keep saying it's never going to be normal again, and we don't know what the new normal is quite yet. But
Yeah.
we are going to go back. We have to. That's the only option. Is we all have to
Yeah.
go back to work eventually. So
Yeah.
when that happens, though, like in our line of work, we work so closely physically together.
Yeah.
So that's it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. It's
I,
very strange. It's like an incredibly physically intimate job.
yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, I hope that we get to a place where things are as back to normal as they can be. And I have a lot of confidence and faith in that, we're all going to get to do the things we dream and hope of doing. And,
Yeah.
that's all. I think that's the only perspective that we can have at a time like this. It's
Yeah.
just try to cultivate as much hope and positivity about it. The conquering of it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have to be positive, and I think that there's already proven stats that staying at home works.
Hmm.
It's shortening the curve, and then we've got mad scientists that are gonna help us find vaccines, and it's just gonna take us time. Like I guess we got caught off guard, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's not as is it not as bad up in BC right now?
No, things have, I think, Canada, from what I understand, sort of reacted at the same time as the US did, but not with the same urgency. Like they didn't need to, there wasn't as many cases. Things
Yeah,
in BC are really, considering in comparison to other places. It's been really lovely, but everybody's taking it extremely seriously here, and as you should
yeah, they
anywhere you're
should.
going,
Should.
take really good care for your sake and for everybody else's sake. So
Exactly. Hey, I saw somebody change the subject here. They said they like your hair. It's starting to grow out, right?
thanks. Oh yeah, I'm getting some killer roots. I can't
Yeah,
wait.
as we all are. You and I go to the same. You and I go to the same highlight guy. That's
Yes.
a little known fact that I shouldn't even ever admit. Paul, who's the most amazing hair guy we have in the
I know.
industry, and he's on our show. But he gave me blonde highlights, and
You would never tell.
now I'm
You
stuck
could
with
never know.
them. I haven't cut my hair for so long. It's just going to
It
keep
is
going.
kind of nice. I get my hair dyed probably every 2 or 3 episodes. That's approximately every 24 days. That's a lot.
Yeah. So
That's a
you,
lot of
again,
days
zero to, or
minimal.
60 to 0 real quick.
Yeah, it's great. It's nice I don't have to wash my hair so much anymore. It's awesome.
It's great. So tonight's episode, like, first of all, there's been 3 or 4 weeks since the last episode, and that was a huge. They're all huge for you, but that was a big, big
Oh
episode.
yeah, no, that was one I was waiting for since the beginning.
Yeah, you and Scott killed that last scene.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah,
It's very, very easy to work with Scott.
yeah,
Very easy.
he's the best.
He's the best, but so are you. You're also very easy to work with. And
Well,
I know I've said that to you
we were
before,
talking
but
about this with Larry just before you, and about how everybody, honestly, on the show is so great, and we
truly
don't
so
put up
great.
with otherwise, so it keeps it real clean,
Yeah.
and everybody's, like, everyone stayed down to earth and humble and normal, and we went to. Was it Madison had that potluck dinner that we all did that night, and I swung by
Mm-hmm.
with Ashley and our little baby Shiloh. And so she's young. So we swung by to say hi and leave, but we left. And Ashley was like, out of all the shows you've done and all the casts, like, this is the most down to earth, cool group of people. And I was like, yeah, we're so lucky. So lucky.
Yeah, it's funny because this being my first show that I've ever been on consistently. Um, you just hear so many horror stories of bad apples and people getting egos
Yeah.
and I just have no I'm just like, as far as I know, everybody in this industry is great.
Yeah.
Really, like everybody, top to tail, every single person in our
Well,
cast right now is
it does start
awesome.
at the top, and Larry set a tone that everyone really fell
Hmm.
into, which is great. But then now on a daily basis, you set a tone that everybody has to live up to, because they come knock on the trailer, and I learned right away Kennedy is the first one in the trailer, or into the transpo van to go to work or to go to set or whatever it is. So, like, when they knock on the door, get out the door. And that's a good thing, because a lot of actors, I've been on a lot of shows, they drag ass, they take 5 minutes. So, like, it's little things like that where you set a tone and everyone follows in line. And that keeps the ship, moving so straight and narrow. And that's what, frees us up to have more time to do a great job in between action and cut.
Yeah, the way that I see it is we're all people that are here to do what we love, everybody on the crew and in the cast, and but we also have families and things we want to do, and we want to get the most out of our work every day. And the more time we can save, the more time, like you just said, that we have to really care for the performance
Yeah.
and the craft of our shots and to have people that are happy to come to work because we're not, I mean, all TV shows work long hours, but there are things I think that can be done to shave that off. And that's something that Larry instilled in me and all of us from the beginning. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's just something I think I'm really passionate about because it's so easy to help cultivate a positive working environment. If you're just
Yeah.
where you need to be when people are ready for you. I mean, I remember, I think it was you who shared this quote with me that they don't pay me to act, they pay me to wait.
Yep.
So when the time comes where we actually get to act, it's time to go. Let's do it.
Yeah, I did. And where that came from, this is a quick, good story. I was doing that movie New York Minute with the Olsen twins. And
Ah!
my buddy Lenny would make fun of me because when my stories start, he's like, yeah, I was doing this movie with the Olsen twins. But and I was a young punk kid who didn't want to wait in my trailer, and they had us. We were there all day one day, and we were in the trailer for like 9 hours waiting, and we didn't end up working. And I called my manager, and I was like, yo, you need to do something about this. Get me out of here. I don't want to be here. And my manager at the time, he said, I represented Jack Lemmon. So a lot of kids out there don't know who Jack Lemmon is, but he is God. And he said, I represented Jack Lemmon until he died. And I went and visited him once on set, and they made him wait for like 3 hours. And I said, Jack, do you want me to go get somebody and do something about this? And he goes, David, they don't pay me to act. They pay me to wait. I act for free. And he's like, if Jack Lemmon can wait, so F can you? And he hung up the phone on me. And I waited, and I learned a lesson that day. And it was a great, great lesson.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, so yeah, last episode was huge for you.
Yeah,
And
this one
this
is,
episode,
I have been hearing, so I mean, when I read the script and in the filming of this episode, I don't know if, and this is, I say this as a really great thing, I don't know if any episode has put me through my paces like this one did. And you'll see it tonight, but it was just, it emotionally, and I mean, it's just, Nancy is pummeled. And it's such a gift as an actor to have such extraordinary complication and nuance that you're being given in a script and in a plot. And yeah, it was an absolute blast. It was so beautifully emotionally exhausting to film this episode, and I say that truly as it was my pleasure.
you
Um,
start this episode with like, I mean, your life has just been ripped out from under you, you
Yeah,
know, and
pick
like,
up from where we. Can you still hear me? Okay, sorry,
yeah,
my AirPods died. Um, but yeah, it's a direct pickup from of the previous episode. So from the second we
that
pick
you
right
find out everything has
it
changed.
has completely everything that Nancy thought she knew and thought she could trust and built her identity on is gone, and it's about her dealing with that and dealing with a lot of different things and finding a way to escape. We've seen Nancy in the beginning of the series is in a place where after this tragic loss of her mother, um, or the person that she thought was her mother,
Yeah.
and she completely closed off. Her way of dealing with that was just avoiding and kind of sitting in this numbness and allowing it to just sort of consume her. And we've watched throughout the series as she really begun to open up and trust people and really talk friendships that she's making, and learn how incredibly valuable that community is. Now is the first time that she's kind of let herself be so open and trusting in this relationship with Carson and all of these friendships, and she just got, from her perspective, completely betrayed. And so how she responds to that, we get to see whether or not she bounces back to coping mechanisms from the past, or if she, allows those friendships and that kind of found family that she has in the whole crew lift her up and support her. So this is a really interesting turning point. And I have this is the one episode more than any other one that we've done that since the second the first edit was out there, it was all the producers could talk about. They were like, this episode.
Yeah.
Like, this episode is so great. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, because the thing is, I think a lot of people don't realize this, that we don't see the episodes before they're out.
No. And they're very tight-lipped about everything.
Yeah, so sometimes there are scenes that get, like, I always feel uncomfortable talking about episodes that I haven't seen because we don't know if a scene's gotten cut, if there's been voiceover added to kind of change story points. So it's really interesting. I mean, we get the final scripts, but I don't know what it's actually going to look like when it airs, and it's always really nerve-wracking, especially these particularly emotional episodes. I'm like, oh my god, I haven't seen it yet. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and what's cool about you is no take is the same. So once you deliver those performances and turn it over to an editor, you don't know how they're going to put it together. So really, it could come out a number of different ways.
Yeah.
And so it is for you, like, there's been actors I work with where it's the same every time. So you know how it's going to come out. But like with you and I are like that. I was saying that with Larry's interview. I mean, I think you have magic with everybody. That's how good you are. But I definitely know that when I work with you, and I text you that the night that we got done with the scene that we're going to see tonight.
Yeah.
Um, Man, I'll get emotional, but it was just magical. It really was. And I'd waited like 17 episodes to get to that point.
Oh,
So
yeah.
look at me, I'm getting all emotional. But yeah, it was. So I'm excited for everyone to see it.
Yeah, me too.
Melinda did an amazing job, and Lisa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lisa co-wrote it, right?
Yeah.
With Melinda, yeah. So they killed that.
Yeah.
God, I'm sorry. Look at me. How did that happen?
How
I'm
cute.
sorry, Ken. But it was, yeah. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
really.
So
I cannot wait for people to see it. I am so excited.
yeah, Larry had a bunch of great things to say about it. So obviously, it's always like I get nervous, like everybody's seen it, like and talk to us about it, but we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Very anxious to see this one in particular. This was like the first time I am very passionate about continually just trying to, try new things with my technique and open myself up in different ways and experiment in how I approach scenes and different types of material. This was something where I felt like in the opening scene and many scenes throughout the episode, it was like, that's every little part of my body is in that. Like I felt after we filmed this opening scene, I felt like I was gonna faint. I was like, that's I don't know how it's edited together. I have no idea what it looks like now, but it's like that's all of me.
Yeah.
That's all I've got.
Well, dude, I saw you at like right before the Christmas break. We worked together, and you were just like nothing left in the tank. I mean, you give so much, and you're in so much of the day every day. And if you're not, one thing that a lot of people don't know that I can say is that if you're not working, they might need you for wardrobe fittings, and if they don't need you for wardrobe fittings, they need you for ADR to do voiceover stuff for the Nancy Drew stuff. And there's SAG rules that you're supposed to have a 12-hour turnaround in between work, but when they start throwing those things at you, all of a sudden, you're getting no sleep, and you add that up every week. I have dogs. Jeez Louise. It's probably Amazon dropping off a box, and they get. But it's actually, now that they barked, it's amazing they haven't barked this whole time, because they bark like crazy usually.
Hey, they're doing great.
Being a cat person, you don't have to deal with that.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an extremely exhausting job. But the thing is that I hope I speak for all of us, but I know for me, I feel so well taken care of. We have such an incredible team of producers who are really looking out for me and looking out for our whole cast and our crew, and making sure that there are situations where they're allowed to it's a 12-hour turnaround, and that has happened almost never.
Yeah.
And could do that so much more, and there are so many people and so many shows that will do that.
Yeah.
It has been the greatest gift to have people that really care about me as a human being and want to make sure that I'm okay and that I am healthy and fed and safe and have slept and all of those things. And we really are.
I hope I didn't make it sound like they were slave drivers. I was just saying that you work extremely, extremely hard.
I do.
Now I feel like I put my foot in my mouth.
No.
They are cracking whips on Nancy Drew. No, you what I mean is that you're like a lot of the crew. You're first in and last out almost every day.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you have so many other things that a lot of people don't know that you have to do. And it's just, I've been number one on a show before, and I know how much time and effort that takes. And for this being your first show and you being, only 23, right? Like, it's just, you're killing it. Killing it.
Thank you. I am very to come home to food and a nice clean house and somebody to care for me. So we can give that credit to Sam.
Yeah. Well, hey, behind every good man or good woman, there's a good man, right?
There you go.
With the,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm trying to think what else everybody wants to know about you. I mean, everybody on here has like been dying to ask questions.
Yeah. Does anybody have any particular questions?
Yeah, we've got
Check out the chat.
Trinity on the line. You can see it, right?
Yes, I can. Hi, guys. I love you too. Maybe while we're here, I could say all of the people that I have such all the people that frequently tweet at me and engage with me on Twitter. You guys are the best. I know all your names. I think about you all the time. You guys are so wonderful. What's my natural hair color? But I like
Yeah, and you're like really good at engaging on Twitter. Like you're all over that stuff. I love it.
how could you not be? I mean, the only reason I got Twitter was to interact with people who watch the show. And it's just the best medium to do that because you can just talk to people very freely, and people are just so, from the beginning, have been so incredibly kind. Like, people talk about how much hate you get when you're in, when you're out there in the world, and people have just been so kind to me.
Yeah.
I am so grateful for that because in the couple of because it's happened in a couple rare occasions, and it gets you. It hurts, but I feel very lucky that everybody's been so nice.
Speaking of that, you are doing the live Twitter tonight, right? Is it live Twitter that you do?
I am live tweeting with the W Network, which is where Nance premieres in Canada.
Right. Yeah.
But it'll be for the
East Coast feed.
East Coast viewers.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Have you seen the episode yet? Or are you gonna? Did they send you like a trick? No.
Haven't seen it at all.
Me either.
Nancy's last name.
Well, I mean, the show's called Nancy Drew. I'm just hoping Nancy wants something to do with Ryan. I was doing interviews yesterday, and can you hear my baby crying in the background? Oh,
I know.
it's nap time, and she's not wanting to nap right now. Kennedy, she's growing so fast. She's like crawling. I mean, like standing up. She'll be walking in like 2 weeks. It's crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I feel like when we see her again, when we start back, like a whole new baby. She's so cute. She's got the chunkiest little face.
I know. And she's little baby Nancy Drew forever. It's amazing.
I
love
know.
that. What else do you guys have to ask Kennedy? I don't want to keep her all day, but I know that she loves to interact. So
I do. I really do. Let's see. Oh, somebody asked if I did musicals in high school and college. Yes, I did. I actually thought I wanted to go into musical theater when I was in middle school and through part of high school. And then I realized that my truest passion is acting. Though I do sing. We both sing. We've got a lot of on our show.
Yeah. Leah's voice is amazing, as is yours. Who else sings?
Great.
Scott, I think, sings and plays.
Alex can rap. Did
Yep.
you tell never mind. I'm not going to tell the story.
Yeah, you told me the story. I know it. And I told you I rapped a little bit. Like, we could have, like, do you know that this is a true story. In the Vancouver, because a lot of the CW shows shoot in Vancouver, they do a battle of the bands with the crew and cast. And your crew and cast can put together a band, and then you go and you play at this bar. I think it's over Christmas, which is why I've never been a part of it, because we always leave.
Right.
But I think we got to figure it out and get our show to have a band.
Oh, yeah. We gotta. I don't know. Do you play the guitar? We're good to go.
Yeah, well, and our head of transportation plays a mean guitar. There's a couple other guys on our crew that play instruments that I've talked to. We could put it together.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Did you always know you wanted to be an actor? Yeah, I wanted to be an actor since I was 9 years old. I remember, so as a kid, I had very severe obsessive compulsive disorder. And I was in therapy for that, and we were trying all sorts of things, and it was really quite debilitating. And I had a friend that would audition for these community youth theater plays. And so I auditioned with her one time, and I sort of realized, I was like, oh, I don't have to be myself. I don't have my own problems. And I can, for this play rehearsal after school, for these 4 hours, I can take my own brain out and put somebody else's brain in. And I didn't have to deal with all of these issues I was having for this short amount of time. And it was sort of an escape for me. And that just became totally life-saving. And I fell in love with it, and I never stopped. So, I have always known.
Always, I've always known.
How do you think Nancy and Ryan's dynamic will change moving forward? It will change.
Yeah.
It will definitely change. I think a lot of that will be, that ball will get rolling tonight, for sure. And it's a huge part of the upcoming arc in the story.
Yeah, and I was saying, in an interview yesterday that it took a long time for us to even get to this point, and it could take a long time for Nancy and Ryan to fully figure it out. I don't know. The cool thing is we don't know yet because it hasn't been written, really.
Right.
It kind of got stopped right before all that stuff. So, but it'll be really interesting.
Yeah, I'm extremely excited. I just love working with you, Ryan.
I love working with you. I can't wait to see tonight's episode. And we had some really the scene in when I'm on the floor with you in the, that sounds horrible. When in
The Velvet Mask in episode 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
In episode 6, like that was a touching scene that kind of I think set the tone. That was the first time that the character opened up to Nancy.
Yeah.
And then it kind of opened the floodgates for all these other little moments that the writers so beautifully, the way that this episode tonight set up is so cool. And I was saying this before, that I had waited like 17 episodes to get to this point. And I thought about it so many different ways of how it could play out. And the fact that you and everyone else knows these things before Ryan does. Yeah. And then what happens tonight with Ryan and Nancy, and how they kind of team up in this, but in two different ways, because he doesn't know what she knows. It's really heartbreaking and cool.
Yeah, it is. It's a very cool dichotomy of Nancy fighting this emotional and a practical battle at the same time, and choosing to sort of be alone in that, the emotional battle part of things. So yeah, it's really cool. We kind of there's a really interesting, just everything is, there are secrets on both sides as people are working together. So it's really quite cool.
Yeah. And that, by the way, again, that stuff with you and Scott last episode was so touching. It was really great work.
It was very emotional to film because, and here's the thing too, is that Scott and I have played so, I have had to just be in conflict so much. And I adore Scott so much. I really feel like I would like to pretend to be his daughter forever. Granted, I will say that my real dad is superior. Sorry, Scott. My real dad is the best. And you are pretty good too.
Thanks. Well, I'll take third place in this heated race. I don't even want any part of that. Ryan Hudson's already an outsider. He'll just, I like not having the expectations and the bar set so high for him. So anything he does is good at this point.
Exactly. But yeah. God, it was so emotional because we just have such a bond as people.
Yeah.
To play that out is so heart-wrenching, and both people's sides in what happened are absolutely tragically heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And I remember our camera operator Sean, who is the best. He was crying.
Yeah.
And it was just, I have never felt such a vibe in the room. It was so still, and it felt so precious from everybody, and it was so satisfying because we've been waiting for that for so long.
Yeah.
Just was handled with such care. And it's funny, you watch it and you forget that when the crew is in the scene with us.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a camera right here,
Yep.
your face, and
And the
here
guys
there's over, you know. So you're staring at so many things. They're so deeply involved, and they set such a tone for how comfortable you are and how vulnerable you're able to become. It's so much up to the crew and the way that they set the tone. And our crew is just superb in that way. They're so awesome, creating such a beautiful environment for us. So
can I get everybody out of my eye line, please? Everybody out of my eye line. No, that's inside jokes, but one thing that's funny about you and Scott is not funny. Not what we were saying. You and Scott, you guys always have these like 3-4 page emotional scenes in these episodes, and I think because I'm an actor, I pay attention, but a lot of people might not. But you're on TV for 3 or 4 minutes, like, and it's just this heavy, silent back and forth, and no one's breathing. Like that. You guys have had a lot of those on this show.
yeah, it's a really wonderful thing to share with Scott, because he's just so passionate too. I mean, nobody on our show is about their work, which makes it such a pleasure to work with everybody, because everyone cares so much. Nobody is a settler, nobody's like, I'll be fine. A lot of people that really want to rise to the occasion. And so, yeah, it's a really, and it's funny too, because we shoot these scenes for hours. And so for me at least, the way that my job is, especially like that, like I want to leave it all on the table. And so you're for 6 hours, it's like living in that headspace. And so, I mean, when we filmed that ending scene from the previous episode, and there's a little, I enter the scene, there's a little mud room that we've seen a couple times, but there's a little mud house. And I just, for the entire time it took us to shoot that scene, I just sat down, and I think the whole crew knows I have a mode, like when when I'm sticking in it. And even if it's just, and I literally, like, everybody's moving around you and lifting stuff and pushing stuff, and I just was sitting there just waiting, because it takes, every time you set up for different shots, it takes 20 minutes, 30 minutes, things are always, lighting's changing and everything. So you're just waiting, and with everybody in our cast, and when the camera's not on you, you're still giving as much as you can, just because it's the other person's coverage.
Mm-hmm.
It's still everybody makes you want to give them as much as you would give for your own coverage, because, you're only as good as your scene partner. Scenes are only both actors. So,
Yeah, so you're in it for a lot longer than you think.
Yeah, it's a long time. And when we filmed the courtroom scene too, in the previous episode, I just sat at the stand for the filming of that.
Yeah, and that was cool. A lot of people don't know this, but it was Ruben, right? He's the director.
Yeah, Ruben Garcia. He was
killed it, and I was standing there. He came to you, and he was like, "Here's how I want to shoot it. I'm gonna do a tight. I'm gonna do a wide, and then an extra wide, and this and that." And he goes, "Kennedy, what do you want first? Do you want your wide where you're starting off the day and working into it, or do you want to start off right off the bat fresh up close?" And you chose. I was wondering, because I was standing there. I'm like, "What's you gonna take?" I've had this a lot. I've had to make this decision, and I've done it both ways for different reasons.
Yeah.
And I think I was still learning all those times, but I liked what you chose, and you did.
Yeah, I chose to start up close.
Yep.
Yeah. Such a gift when people give you that option for things
Yep.
that are emotional in nature. But I think as you get to know yourself as an actor, I feel like everybody's different. But for me, in that particular scene, I spent that whole week, we filmed that scene on a Monday. And that for me was about 5 pages of text. And I learn lots of pages of lines every day because we come on set memorized. You know, we don't mess around and
We
learn.
don't even have sides.
Right. Yeah, we don't have a lot of actors, a lot of shows. And not to slam on that at all. That's just not the way we do things. We don't have sides on set. So when you're on set, the lines are in your head. And obviously, you know, there are situations in which you can always ask for it if you need it. But in this case, I wanted that testimony scene was so important to me. And so I spent that whole weekend before just getting it perfect. I was like, I need this to be ready to go because I'm not
Backwards and forwards.
fumbling on words for this because that would make this day so long. And so, yeah, for that one, I was like, I'm ready to go. So we started up close and moved backwards and then flipped the room and filmed everybody's reactions.
Yeah. And knowing you, that was smart because you didn't need a half a day of all those takes to get to where you were trying to get in your performance. Like you came ready to play. So it's like get you while you're fresh
Yeah.
and then work your way back. This is actor talk right now, but yeah, I get it. I like that choice.
Thank you. Cameras is watching. Hi, cameras.
And more questions. I don't know how long I can keep you. I was telling Ashley this earlier. I'm like, the only thing that I don't know about this is how long these are supposed to go. I don't want to take everybody's time.
I don't know.
So I'm bad at goodbyes. But no, I don't. We can do this as long as you want, but I don't want to keep you.
I'm good. I don't have anything else to do.
Yeah, me either. I was so excited when they asked me to do this because I was like, I have something to look forward to. Like, actually, this means something today. So this is cool.
Yeah.
But it was going to anyway. We got a bunch of questions about Ace, which, by the way, for the people out there, this is a cool little tidbit. I didn't know until probably later than everybody else that you and Alex are really close in real life. Like, you guys are the closest. And I didn't know that. I would have never guessed that. I've been around you guys a lot. And so can you elaborate on that? I don't know.
Yeah, I love Alex. Alex is a great, great friend. I just think we're very similar in temperament. And I admire him as an actor. He's just super talented. And we, I think, work together very easily because we have similar styles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think Alex is a great actor and a great person. He's just a wonderful friend. Me and Sam enjoy hanging out with him. And yeah, he's awesome. And his girlfriend, Hannah, is awesome. And
Yeah.
yeah, Alex is very dear to me. So
he was like the first one that I really clicked with. And when we first got up to Vancouver for the season, I was like, he and I were staying at the Sutton place, and we were going to dinner every single night. It was awesome. But then, you know, real life kicks in and you get going in the series. But yeah, for a good 2-3 weeks, he and I were like thick as thieves. I love that guy. He's just like a humble and loyal dude. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't say a lot, but when he does talk, it's meaningful.
yeah, it's awesome. And once he sort of starts to be comfortable, he's also one of the most. I mean, you see it on the show, but he's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
In real life as well. Yeah, and just a really dedicated and passionate person. And
you know, he's so cool. This was like right before we were getting shut down with the show. We were trying to go somewhere and my car wouldn't start. I guess I'd left the door open, the light on, and I needed to jump. And I don't know that many people in Vancouver with a car. So I immediately text Alex. He was at the gym, left the gym, got his car, drove over to my apartment, jumped my car. Like, you know, that was the last time I saw him because then we got shut down.
That's, I mean, sad this last time, but not surprising at all coming from
No, yeah, that's him. That's Alex. So I get it. I totally get it. Um, yeah. What else? What else do we have for Kennedy while we have her here? Thank you again for doing this with me. This is
Oh
awesome.
my God, it's my pleasure. This is so fun. I'm so excited. I miss work so much. I love talking about it.
Right? I know. I know. Favorite line from the
Me on Twitter too what my favorite out of context line is. I don't remember. I don't remember. I remember what happens in the episode.
right?
I don't remember. I don't remember any off topic lines or any lines. I learned so many lines all the time.
I
I just
know. I
hold
know.
it one day and then people.
You know, I wonder. I
Leah,
wonder. I wonder if
sorry.
you're gonna have problems when we not problems, but if you're gonna be a little rusty when we go back because
I'm
your
sure.
your memory is a muscle, and I
Yeah.
find like when we get into a series mode, it's real easy to remember them, but the start of the show, I always am like kind of struggling because it's just
Yeah.
I'm rusty.
Yeah. By the end of the season, it was I could kind of, and this is not a compliment to me, but just sort of something on memory in general. I could just look at the sides for the day and be like, oh, okay, read them 2 or 3 times, and it's like, all right, great.
Yep, got them.
It's amazing what you're able to do when you're memorizing constantly. But in the beginning, it was harder.
I just saw a good question for you, which I think is a good idea for you, if depending on how much longer this goes on. Are you going to do any more Instagram lives?
Yeah, probably. Oh, yes, actually. So Scott and I are talking right now. We're going to do some together.
Mhm.
And on next Wednesday, which is our finale day, I will be hosting some lives with members of the cast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know all, but I will be hosting lives with them.
Good.
So tune in here, I think.
On Instagram.
On Instagram, yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, when me and Scott are doing them, and then I will be doing some with other members of the cast like Leah and the people.
Madison's across the pond right now. Tunji's across the pond.
It's tricky because of time difference.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And here's another good question everybody keeps asking about is I think we should do these cons, conventions. Nancy do conventions. I think that's in our future.
Yeah.
They're so much fun. You go, you meet everybody, you take pictures, you do what we're doing now, except on a panel and in front of people. And but what's so much fun is that you get to meet everybody and like
I would love,
share stories.
because it's just you talk to people and you see people's pop up and stuff as you kind of interact with them on.
That's
social.
the thing. You put a name to a face to a name.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
Cool.
I would love that. I would love that. Once we're all able to safely gather again.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Somebody from the Commonwealth's got to reach out to us. That's the thing. What else?
Let's see. Well, you guys better all watch tonight's episode. It's very good. Riley's excellent. As always.
Larry just chimed in. What's up, Larry?
Hi, Larry.
The love between Kennedy and Larry is like no other. And I have to say, like, I have been a part of so many shows, and I've never seen the lead and the executive producer director be so tight. But it's what really set this show up is like his vision, you falling in line and getting it, and putting it together. And it's like the puppet master and the puppeteer. It's awesome.
Well, Larry makes it very easy. He's a superb teacher. So
yeah, that's great.
I love Larry. I'll be knocking on Larry's door for the rest of my life if he'll let me.
Oh, dude, I will do any show he asks me to do.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Drop anything. He's the best.
So it's 3:20.
Oh, okay. About people keep asking about the relationships on the show. I can say nothing about them. I'm sorry. I know. I'm such a romantic at heart, so I care about it very much as well. But I can't share anything.
You
You'll
mean
have
on the show, or off the show, on the show?
on the show, like
On
the
the show.
relationships. Oh my
Nice.
God! Hi, Dad. Hi, Dad.
What's up, Pops?
Oh, he's saying something very nice to you, Riley.
What do
Can
you
you
say?
said, Riley, thank you for being lovely to my daughter Kennedy. Her mom and I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. Love your daughter. Yeah,
Aw.
this has been special. I mean, because I just had a baby girl right when we started when we were doing the pilot, I was telling you about her coming, and then since then I've had her, and so
Yeah,
this
we were
will
in the
be.
you and Adam.
Yep.
We were in the on the way somewhere for like the first time we ever met.
Yep.
We're
Yep.
telling us we're having a baby.
Yeah, and now she's almost walking, and this will always be monumental in so many ways. And then to top it all off, tonight's episode, they're giving her a screen credit, which I can't wait to see. And she gets to play Baby You, and it's like man. And once everybody sees the episode and understands, it's so surreal and beautiful. And man, I just thank you so much for coming on here. I don't want to keep you any longer, and also, honestly, I have to pee. So I'm gonna. But Kennedy, I miss you, and I can't wait to see you so soon.
Yeah, I know. Crossing my fingers, it'll be very soon.
Yeah, it will be, and well, yeah, we'll be talking, and everybody, thank you for joining in for Kennedy. You want to say anything else, Ben?
Thanks for hanging. You guys are the best. We have the best fans in the world, really. You guys are so awesome. And I promise you, all of us appreciate it and see everything you say and really care about it. So thank you guys. And I'll see you on your TVs tonight.
Yes, you will. Thank you so much again, Ken.
Thanks, Riley. It's a pleasure. So good to talk to you.
You too. Take care. Be safe, and I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.